How are you all doing today? Glad to be with you today. The scripture of today is, slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. That comes from Proverbs 19 and 15. If you want something, don't just sit and wait around for the mailman to bring you your Readers Sweepstake winnings. Get up and do something for yourself. By doing something for yourself, you will stand a little taller and feel a little better and achieve more. Good morning to each of you. Life is so good. I love life. Experiencing a joyful life is why each of us are here on this great big round earth. No road is paved of gold without work. So let's get working. I am the country boy and I will be right back. So don't one of you leave. Okay, I'm back. Glad to be with you again. It is great to be with each of you. It is 6:30 a.m. The ocean mist has moved inland. I love living here in the Pacific Northwest. I can smell the ocean breezes on mornings like this. The weatherman says we will reach into the 50s today with light showers this evening, with temperatures dropping, bringing the possibility of snow at the ski runs. I am always amazed at how our world has changed with the advancement of technology. The weatherman can look into the heavens, and with the help of technology, so I will know whether I should put on shorts for the day or grab my skis. Here in the Northwest, many complain of the rains. I am not a native here. I came to this valley in the late 80s from southeastern Idaho, where at this time of the year we get snow at any time. Harvesting of crops are in full swing with a rush to get them in before the snow and cold temperatures hit. It was not uncommon to wake up in the morning this time of year to heavy frost. The cold temperatures would kill most of the vegetation and the growing season was over. The farmers in the area have late May till early September to plant, water, and harvest their crops for the year. We had no time for play or vacations during this time. Each day counted. If we slacked off on anything, the accomplishments we had worked for over the years could be lost. My memory is vivid as a young boy when my dad would come to my room and say, "Steve, it is time to get up. It is still dark outside." The night was short when you go to bed at 10, but regardless, I knew that the time was so precious during the growing season. I would jump up and follow my dad out the door. My dad was a very good example, and his example paved my way in life to what I am today. Poor Richard says, "One today is worth two tomorrows." Also, what if your master should catch you idle? Aren't you your own master? Be ashamed to catch yourself idle. Hey, one of the greatest of the religious commandments was given when God says, "By the sweat of thy face thou shalt eat thy bread." Work is also the way that we develop our abilities. It is the way we form our characters and develop the power of the Spirit. Robert Louis Stevenson once said, "I know what pleasure is, for I have done good work." On the other side of the picture, defeat and failure always brings about an extreme, dismal, unpleasant feeling. We all try to avoid failures. Sports teams practice long hours to avoid defeat. Millions of dollars are spent for one player that'll help create the winning team. In the 2014 NBA playoffs, lots of work brought the Portland Trail Blazers to winning the Western Conference Championship. The Blazers were down 2 points with 9/10 not a second, but 9/10 of a second on the clock. Some fans were leaving while others were getting ready to leave. With 9/10 of a second on the clock, the game was, for all practical purposes, was over. But a time was called by Coach Stott, and the ball was in the Blazers' court. The ball left Lillard's hand and started the descent to the basket just as the ending buzzer sounded. Everything seemed to go in slow motion as the ball found its way to the basket. The fans came alive, the roar was deafening, and the Houston Rockets stood in disbelief. They had lost the game in 9/10. That was quite a shot. I was there, and I get a little choked up once in a while because I just saw that in my mind there. They lost the game in 9/10 of a second. One winning shot from Damian Lillard gave the Blazers back the championship after 14 years. The fans that left missed the most historical shot in 14 years. You know, they're still talking about that shot. It was fantastic. I was so grateful that I was there at that game, that I could watch that shot. Success takes ambition. Did Lillard walk on the playing floor one day and shoot his famous winning shot? No. It took years of practice. It took teamwork. Lillard had practiced hours shooting three-pointers. The Blazers needed a three-pointer to win. So the plan was made at the timeout. Lillard was to start his move to the sideline before the ball was in play. The ball came from the sideline to Lillard, and he had to make sure the ball left his hands before the buzzer sounded. Now he had 9/10 of a second to catch and let go of that ball. He had to be part of a team equal to or equal than he was. They had to work together. Each had confidence in themselves, trust in their teammates, and trust in their coach. I had the good fortune of attending nearly every Blazer game. Some things I noticed. In the last minutes of the games, especially those with tight scoring games, a timeout was called every few minutes. Upon returning to the playing floor, each member of the team seemed to have more energy. The coach seemed more confident, knowing the team would follow his counsel, and fans would come alive even more than they had in the foregoing minutes. A plan for the win had been updated with Coach Stotts. So let's review the points of the plan that was reinforced. Faith in oneself, confidence, ambition, knowledge, being teachable, desire, love for others, love for self, and being capable of getting back up when you fall down. They had 9/10 of a second to stand back up with. As for faith in deity, I have no idea if any said a silent prayer, but I will assume there were some prayers offered, both from the coach, teams, and fans. Who said success was easy? We're going to explore a word that seems to be vanishing from the American vocabulary and being replaced by another word. In the words of John W. Gardner, he said, "One of our problems comes about because we have never learned how to stay awake on a full stomach. When the hard struggles for survival is no longer necessary, we frequently lose much of the greatness that characterized those who lived during more difficult periods. Things have become too easy for most. Parents with the attitude that they want their children to have more than they had. I have heard this all through my life. To have more than our parents meant youth of today will have to be given more rather than working for it. There is no magical formula for success. We do ourselves a severe injustice when we excuse ourselves from the hard physical work. Prolonged mental effort and the uplifting spiritual activities has always marked the way of success. Work feels good. I know of no man or woman that does not want to create something with their own hands. If I am wrong, please email me at countryboi@sundogfilmproductions.com. I would love to hear your story. If I am wrong, please tell me. But I am sure that no person that has created something on their own looks at the accomplished object and says, "So what?" and proceeds to destroy it. So why did you create it? It gave you satisfaction, right? It made you happy, I hope. It satisfied your natural desire to do good? Well, I'm hoping that too. When we do good and create something from our work of our own hands, we feel rewarded. Rewards give us a desire to continue in the good direction. Now let's take the opposite of work and doing good. How do you feel when you have accomplished nothing all day? Do you have feelings of guilt? It is hard to get started today or even tomorrow. Laziness or putting off feeds on itself. I hear so many people when they reach retirement age that they stop everything. Their time left on earth is shortened. They have no goals. Depression sets in. A few years ago, when I was still working, I was told of a guy that said when he retired, he was going to do no work. He owed it to himself for all the years he had worked. He spent the next few years sitting on the couch watching TV and drinking beer. He died shortly, an angry man with bad health and probably very few friends. We see our government decided that the youth of today is overweight and some are obese, and I will not dispute that. This brings concern of government overreach when they come into the schools or even our homes and design healthy foods for the school lunch or blame the cause on sugar drinks or anything else that pops into their minds. But the government created the problem by not allowing youth before 16 to work. They said it was going to hurt them and stunt their growth. I totally disagree. I came from a town where farming was the way of life. At an early age, 9 years old, somebody won't believe me, but it was facts, I was taught how to work and take on responsibilities. Actually, it was probably a little younger than that, but I didn't want to get too extreme on this. At 10, I was driving a tractor in the fields. At 13, I was driving a large spud truck under a harvester during harvest when I was finally old enough to get my driver's license at 14. Years ago in Idaho, we were able to get a day's driver's license at 14, and I was so thrilled. I was placed on the potato harvester to operate it and oversee the field crew. I was so disappointed. I had a driver's license, and now I could drive legally, even though I'd been driving on the roads for quite a few years. But my dad put me on the potato harvester to operate it and oversee the field crew, which included the truck drivers, all of them older than me, the windrow driver, which was older than me, and most of the people that was on the harvester, all older than me. Did this work hurt me? No. I stayed thin, healthy, and happy. I earned my first motorcycle when I was 16, and 3 months before I graduated from high school, I bought my first new car. It was a Barracuda, 1968 Barracuda, one of those fastbacks. I took care of my car, and I even told you my motorcycle in a previous show. Remember that Jackson Hole trip I made? That was the bike. They were mine. I worked for them. I learned respect, patience, and felt good about myself. I needed no drugs or alcohol to make me happy. I had the choice of girls to date, but was very selective. I was the captain of the wrestling team, took district 2 years, and went to state 2 years in a row. Some of you may say I am bragging, but no, I am making a point. Work makes you happiness. Laziness makes you frustrated in life and about yourself. You are on this earth to learn and take responsibility. I watch so many kids today with nothing to do. They can't work till they are 16 because the government said so-called people are... I'm going to back up there. I missed that one. They can't work today because they're 16 because the government said so. So many people are trying to save the world today without really understanding it. By the time they are 16, they have learned that today that TV is nice while food is placed on the table by someone else. They want a car and expect someone to give it to them. They don't seek for education because someone has given them for the past 16 years. They have learned no responsibility, and the government says we need to give to these poor kids because they deserve it. Now, I am not speaking for all parents and youth. I know personally parents that have taught their children the values of work and responsibility by helping them find jobs, even if it is nothing more than mowing the grass. Do you want to be successful? Success takes work. Work is peace. Your peace. Peace instead of guilt. Guilt comes from failure to accomplish those things that deity has given us. In a basketball game, only one team can win, but in life, we all can be winners. Think what happens when through our neglect. Think what. Okay, I gotta wet my whistle. I'm getting tongue-tied on this. Think what happens when through our neglect we lay ourselves open to failure. As soon as we let down, the punishment starts. At first, we are merely pricked by our conscience. Guilt persists. Sterner measures are imposed. Take an example from our work. If we persist in our idleness, we lose our job. The bank takes away our car. Then we have to walk to work. We get home to find the lights and the heater turned off. We go to the refrigerator and is nearly bare. We decide to just turn on the TV and relax and think of what we did to deserve such harsh punishment and no TV. Now we have lots of time for thinking. Guilt sets in. Frustration, panic overcomes us. We convince the kids we need to break their piggy bank to get enough money so we can walk to the store and buy some alcohol to hide this nightmare. What a sad experience. Okay, what should we have done? Remember, we want to be successful, right? Let's get back and try and get this bad dream out of our heads. Success comes from work. Okay, I have not really done as good as I could have done. I really could have started a savings account instead of living for today. I could have bought a cheaper car and would have been better than no car at all. Less power consumption per day by managing the use of electricity devices. Visit the grocery store instead of fast food places. Maybe I could even found a part-time job to supplement my main income. Success comes from work. Okay, I have not really done as good as I could have done. I really could have started a savings account instead of living for today. A cheaper car would have been better than no car at all. Less power consumption per day by managing the use of electrical devices. Visit the grocery store instead of the fast food place. Maybe I could have even found a part-time job to supplement my main income. Involve others in the family to help in different kinds of fundraisers, and many other ideas. So there's a lot of things we could have come up with, but it's too late now. The bank owns your car, your freezer is off, your TV's off, and you're sitting there on the couch drinking a beer with the money the kids have saved in their piggy bank. Okay, but let's get on with this. We don't want that part. To help others, you first need to be financially stable yourself. How can a parent teach their children if they can't do it for themselves? Quoting from a book entitled Heber J. Grant, Man of Steel, Prophet of God. Probably wondered what this book was sitting here for, other than hiding my Christmas time my wife bought me. Probably can't see it. It's got lights. Can't find the switch to turn them on, but anyway, a pretty cool tie. Anyway, that's the reason this book's here. We're going to talk about this Heber J. Grant for just a second here. Okay, backing up. Quoting from a book entitled Heber J. Grant, Man of Steel, Prophet of God. You can get this book by going to our website at sundogfilmproductions.com and click on the book's picture and title. This will lead you to Amazon, where you can purchase this book. Buy it used, as I did. $4 is a bargain for this book. It's a hardbound book. Back to the quote, page 88. If you have ambitions, dream of what you wish to accomplish, and then put your shoulder to the wheel and work. Daydreams without work do not amount to anything. It is dead. So the Apostle James tells us, as the body without the spirit is dead, there are any number of people who have faith, but they lack the works. And I believe in the people that have both the faith and the works are determined to do things. Unto those of you who have worthy determinations, the Lord will open the way before you, whereby you can accomplish the work. Close quote from Heber J. Grant, right here in this book. Okay, if you want something, don't just sit and wait around for the mailman to bring you your winning Reader's Digest sweepstakes. Get up and do something for yourself. By doing something for yourself, you will stand a little taller and feel a little better of yourself and accomplish more. So, until next time, keep your shoulder to the wheel. This is the Country Boy signing off, and have a great day and a Merry Christmas. See y'all later. I am gone.